The term cult often sparks fear, curiosity, or controversy. But what really defines a cult, and does the Church of Satan fall under that label? Founded in 1966 by Anton LaVey, the Church of Satan is one of the most misunderstood modern religious movements. With its dark imagery and provocative philosophy, it has raised eyebrows since its inception. Many people assume it's a cult simply because it challenges religious norms. But is that enough to earn the title? In this episode, we're digging deep into what the Church of Satan actually believes, how it operates, and whether it fits the definition of a cult or something entirely different. Before we jump into this thought-provoking topic, take a second to like, share, and follow our channel. We cover everything from cults and conspiracies to strange religions and untold histories. Your support helps us keep creating high-quality content and reaching more curious minds, just like yours. If you're into real stories that challenge what you think you know, this is the place to be. Now let's get into the facts behind the Church of Satan and the cult conversation. To understand whether the Church of Satan could be seen as a cult, we first need to look at what it actually believes and what it doesn't. Despite the name, the Church of Satan does not worship Satan. In fact, members are atheists. Satan is used as a symbol of rebellion, personal power, and human nature, not as a literal being. The church was founded by Anton LaVey in 1966 as a philosophy that embraces individualism, personal responsibility, and rational self-interest. It promotes indulgence over abstinence and pride over humility. That doesn't mean anything goes. It's more about being honest with yourself and not living in guilt or shame imposed by traditional religions. One of the most important texts is the Satanic Bible, written by LaVey. It outlines principles like the 9 satanic statements and 11 satanic rules of the earth, which include things like do not harm little children and do not make sexual advances unless you are given the mating signal. These rules reflect a code of personal ethics, not chaos or criminal behavior. Satanic rituals are largely theatrical and symbolic. They are not meant to summon demons or perform magic in a supernatural sense. Instead, they serve as psychodramas, designed to release emotion, gain clarity, or celebrate a personal milestone. These rituals often include chanting, candles, and dark imagery, but they're done for the self, not for any higher being. The church does not require attendance, tithing, or obedience to a guru. In fact, it strongly opposes blind faith. The members are encouraged to think critically, question everything, and live authentically. For many, it's less a religion and more a philosophical stance on life. Unlike many religious groups, the Church of Satan doesn't operate with a local church model. There are no weekly services, no group worship, and no missionary work. Instead, it functions as a centralized organization with a clear but minimal leadership structure. At the top is the high priest, currently Peter H. Gilmore, and the high priestess Peggy Nadramia. Together, they manage the church's official direction and communication. Supporting them is a group known as the Council of Nine, made up of individuals who have proven themselves as committed and capable representatives of satanic philosophy. Membership is open to anyone who agrees with the church's values. There are 2 levels: registered members who pay a one-time fee and have no formal obligations, and active members who apply and are evaluated based on personal achievement and philosophical alignment. Advancement in the church is based on merit, not time served or financial contributions. Importantly, the church does not isolate its members. People are free to live wherever they want, associate with anyone, and leave the organization at any time. There are no rules about cutting off family, surrendering property, or pledging loyalty to a central figure, traits often found in cults. The Church of Satan prides itself on being individualistic, not collectivist. It doesn't require obedience, it rewards independence. You'll rarely find members gathering in large groups, because the philosophy itself encouraged privacy, autonomy, and self-reliance over communal bonding. The Church of Satan has always been a lightning rod for misunderstanding and fear, especially in the eyes of the media and the general public. From its dramatic aesthetic to its name alone, the church has often been lumped in with dangerous or fringe groups, despite its core message being centered on personal responsibility and non-belief in the supernatural. Much of this misunderstanding stems from the satanic panic of the 1980s and early 1990s. During that time, law enforcement, parents, and the media became convinced that satanic cults were infiltrating schools, abusing children, and engaging in criminal rituals. Despite widespread investigations, there was no real evidence linking the Church of Satan to any of those crimes. Still, the public fear stuck, and the church was unfairly dragged into the hysteria. The Church of Satan has always been clear. It condemns illegal activity and has nothing to do with animal or human sacrifice, abuse, or black magic. But the name Satan carries weight, and it's often misunderstood. Also, pop culture hasn't helped. Movies and TV shows often portray Satanists as evil cultists dressed in robes, performing bloody rituals in the woods. In reality, most members of the Church of Satan live quiet, everyday lives. They have jobs, families, and hobbies, just like anyone else. The church does not seek converts or attention. In fact, they often avoid the spotlight, preferring that people come to their philosophy by their own interest. Their privacy, independence, and rejection of mainstream norms make them easy targets for myths, but rarely match the facts. So, does the Church of Satan meet the criteria of a cult? Let's break it down. Cults typically feature a charismatic leader who demands obedience, isolation from outside influence, total control over members, and often a belief in the supernatural. The Church of Satan fails to meet most of these traits. Yes, Anton LaVey was a bold personality, but he didn't demand loyalty or obedience. The church encourages individual thought, not groupthink. There's no communal living, no forced separation from family, and no demand for money or time. It's also atheistic, no gods, no spirits, no dogma. In sociological terms, the Church of Satan is more accurately described as a new religious movement or a philosophical group. It may be controversial, but calling it a cult doesn't hold up under scrutiny. The Church of Satan challenges traditional ideas and embraces the individual above all else. While it may look dark or extreme from the outside, it doesn't fit the mold of a cult. There's no coercion, no blind obedience, and no supernatural beliefs, just a sharp, unapologetic philosophy of self-empowerment. If you found this breakdown helpful or eye-opening, make sure to share, like, and click follow so you never miss a new video from our channel. Your support helps us keep digging into the truth behind the headlines.